Alright, so I got ADHD and I'm autistic, so when I try to make these videos in the past, I get so overwhelmed and I'm trying to like structure them. I'm like writing notes and I'm doing all this shit, and the next thing I know, it's like 3 hours later, haven't started it, and I got shit everywhere, and then I'm just so stressed out and lost that I don't do it. So I'm doing this new thing now where I don't fucking do any of that, and I just turn the fucking camera on and I figure it out as I go. Whereas before I would like look at everything and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. Whereas now I'm just gonna kind of do all that planning with the camera on, right? I don't know why I think it has to be so structured all the time, right? Like I crave structure, but I also crave the opposite because of the ADD. So it's like I'm always fighting the two sides. But I'm just gonna fucking not worry about that right now, okay? And I'm gonna go over a couple charts that I've got in, and I don't know if you saw my earlier videos, but I'm only trading Madapes gamble calls, which is this channel here on Telegram with 107,000 subscribers in them. Most of their charts fucking send it, and the ones that don't and get flattened, a lot of them, most of them pop off later and send it too. So it's not like Pump Fun where every chart they drop is gonna go to zero quickly. Like that's not the case. Most of them send it. I'll show you an example here. This is what they pinned just for the last 24 hours. Okay, so a lot of these calls, the original calls, were a long time ago, but they keep track of them and they're constantly keeping updates on them, right? And literally, like all of them go. And usually the first day they'll do like 3 to 10x. And when I say most of them, I mean most of them, not all of them, okay? But the ones that don't go often do go later on, maybe a week later. Sometimes I've seen them go up to a month later, sometimes like 2 or 3 months, right? But I haven't seen many like that. A lot of them get flattened and then go. And the thing is, once they get flattened and they go to zero, Madapes doesn't delete the post about it. Like you'll go to other like influencers or other groups and stuff, these other crypto groups that are literally in it just to make money, right? Madapes has been around for years. Whoever's behind it has money. He's not trying to make money. And these other groups will post something, and if it goes to zero, they'll delete it. Like they never ever talked about it because they don't want that bad rep, you know? But these guys don't do that, okay? And like what I noticed is when they don't do that, people go through the chat and they look for posts that are flattened like that, and then people start to jump in it, and then once they blow up, then Madapes will do another post on them. Okay, so I've never seen these guys just delete something trying to protect their image. Like they don't do that. And the thing is, they're like real traders in this group too. Like if someone's trying to protect their image because a chart went to zero, they're obviously not shilling to like people that understand the technicals of it all. They're just trying to get people to put their money in, right? They're trying to get people to FOMO essentially, right? Okay, so that's my rant on Madapes and why I'm loving them right now. So let's check out a few of the charts I got in. I know I said I didn't pre-plan anything, but I did open these charts because I started pre-planning and I'm like, no, you don't need to do that. Okay, but I opened a couple of my charts from my wallet here. Okay, and like I said in earlier videos, my rule is per buy, I have like no more and no less than 0.05 SOL, which is about $6. And then each position I get in, each chart, I'm allowed to buy down 2 more times. So I have 3 buy-ins totaling a 0.15 SOL, okay, which is about $18 US. And that's because my portfolio size was like around $1,500 to $2,000, so that's like about 1%, right? Which is what you want to bet per trade. Like that's the pro trader way of doing it. Like don't bet more than 1% of your portfolio. Don't risk more than 1%. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And I've noticed on the ones that I buy down more with more than 0.05, or I do like 5 buy downs and I just get a little out of hand, a lot of those went under and like they haven't fully recovered yet. I didn't sell them. Like I'm gonna wait till they pop off because I'm sure they will, but the thing is that capital's tied up right now, and if I just put a little less in there, I could have had more positions because this is a numbers game. like let's say Madapes posts 100 charts in like a week or whatever, or maybe a month, like 80% to 90% of those are going to be performing within that the next month, or very soon after that per se. And then the ones that don't perform usually perform after. And I'm sure there's some that don't perform at all, but I haven't really seen any yet. So like there's always going to be some that don't always go. It's not like a guarantee, right? But this is nothing like trading on like Pump Fun or any of those other lame ass groups that you keep getting shilled. These are like legit traders. So my forehead's all shining. Means I'm sweating. Okay, so I'm gonna go over a few of these charts. So Solvac, let's see if I can find it in my wallet. Yeah, so as you can see here, like these are all my wallets that I have right now open for these positions. And like each day I kind of did a fresh wallet just so I could compare my day progress. Because some days I got too excited, right? Okay, Solvac. I'm not in profit yet, but this I think I bought in yesterday. So this is a Madapes call. As you can see, most people that would see a chart like this, like if you're Pump Fun or whatever, they would probably avoid it because it went all the way down to 18,000 market cap. Okay, but why did I choose to get in it? Well, I noticed this wedge. Okay, well first, the first sign is it was a call in Madapes. Okay, that is like my first confirmation. That's something I should look at, okay? And then when I looked at the chart, I saw this falling wedge. Oh, my mic's all the way over here. Yeah, I saw this falling wedge here, okay? And falling wedges always break out, not always, but most of the time, they break out to the upside, the same height as the wedge. So, yeah, this would be and the rule is like you want the trend lines to be touching as many of the tops of the candles. I mean, it's not always the like exact same, but that's just a good guideline I go by. And then you measure the height of the wedge. And then right where it breaks out, that's kind of where you measure it from. So this could have some juice in it to continue upwards to that breakout target. So I think it might do that. You can see it's probably going to come down actually to this support. And by the time it hits this support, the RSI here is probably going to be showing a bullish divergence. So I think it'll hit this support at 30,000 and then probably pump back up to 48K, which was the original breakout target. And that will then form a rising wedge. So yeah, this will almost certainly do that. Yeah, it's probably going to come down, hit here, bounce up, and then come back down and hit here again. And then that's probably going to form a, just like that, a falling wedge. And then that's going to break out up again. And then it's probably going to tap this up here. So if I really wanted to, if I was really feeling ballsy, I'd set a limit order right here. I mean, it's not that ballsy, but actually, you know what? I think I could because I haven't bought in 3 times yet, right? So I actually technically haven't broken any rules, and I wouldn't if I did that. So you know what? I might just set it just for shits and giggles. So to do that, I get the address, put it in on my Trojan bot. Limit order, let's do 30K MCAP. Might even go a little lower. Yeah, and if it did actually, 1, 2, 3, if it did actually come all the way up to, and hit this breakout target, the other cool thing about that is we have this low here, we have this low here, and if it did come down and do another low like that, and then it broke past right here, that would also be a confirmation of a 3 rising valleys pattern breakout, right? If it did break past that line there, I'm almost certain it'll do this. And if it did do that, look, it lines perfectly up with the top of this wedge anyways. It's so cool how price action works. So yeah, that is probably what's gonna happen on this bad boy right here. So if you were to set a limit order here at 30K, you could get a clean 2x out of that probably. And whoops, if that happened too, we're probably going to test all-time highs, which is 78. Who knows, maybe this wedge will be just like that. So breakout target to 60, and then probably down to here, maybe down to here, and then boom, kind of thing. And if we broke through that all-time high, oh, I'm not on the log chart, so it's probably not going to be as accurate as a measurement here, but if we broke through that all-time high, we'd probably, yeah, go up to 130K market cap. So you got in right now. Let's just say you got in right now and this played out. That is almost 4x. Yeah. All right, well, moving on. Anyway, story is what am I trying to say? The moral of the story is if you see a Madapes chart and you see a falling wedge like this, and it's at the end of the wedge, toss in a 0.05, all right? But don't bet the house. Okay, moving on. Fireball. Okay, so as you can see, I have a buy-in right here, which, let's see, when was that? So 2 days, 23 hours ago, I bought in with a 0.17. I broke my rule big time there, but I guess there's a reason for that. And I think it's okay to break a rule once in a while, as long as you have like really strong confirmation to do so. And let's see why I did that. Like my rule is 0.05 SOL max per buy, which is $6. But here I did almost 4 times that. So if we bring that down, wait, let's just see the profit, what I'm in right now. So I bought $21, I sold $24, and I have $11 unrealized, which isn't always right on here. So I'll check the wallet, see what it says. Fireball, yeah, that's pretty accurate. I bought 22.22, I sold 24.41. That'd be cool if it was 24.44, but it's not. I'm up $14 in profit. All right, so let's see what happened here and why I broke my rule. So this originally went all the way up to 2 mil. Okay, I saw this go up to 2 mil because I had a little position in another wallet, so I saw it triggering, and then I saw it starting to sell off. And I like to go over a lot of the charts again after like a couple days, and that's what I did, right? So I looked at this and I saw something. Okay, I'm on the 15-minute chart. And what do we have here? Right? That is a bullish divergence, okay? And that is, I'm almost certain that's why I bought into it. And then also, not only that, this is also a falling wedge, which is bullish. Bullish reversal pattern. Okay, so I saw the RSI showing the divergence. I saw the bullish reversal pattern here. And that is why I bought in there. And that's why I put in more than I have on my rules. So I almost certainly came in here and did this measurement. As you can see, when these falling wedges break out, they break out the height of the widest part of the wedge. And you can see it did just that. And it doesn't always go up, boom, in one shot. Like sometimes it goes up in steps. So don't get too excited after the first breakthrough, you know. And you can see when this broke out, it formed a rising wedge, which then broke down the height of it probably. See that almost to a T, or you know what, let's adjust that so it's more accurate. And then see that. So that would have told you that that's where the price is going to go next, thanks to this rising wedge. And you can see when they're riding the lower trend line, that's usually when they're getting ready to break down after they've done a couple touches. And that's what happened. This one went a little lower, so, or maybe I didn't measure it accurately. See, so there we go, right? So these shapes like really do predict where the price is going to go. And I want to say like freaking 9 out of 10 crypto bros say technical analysis doesn't work. So don't listen to them. They just can't see patterns. Okay, I'm getting off track here. So why did I buy in? Originally, it was because of this RSI divergence and then this falling wedge, which I knew was going to break out. And this thing went up to 2 mil, I think, after the first 2 days, which is pretty good, right? And I was comparing that to a lot of the other charts I got in. None of them were going up that fast, so I knew it was going to be a good performer because it had a strong start. But at the same time, you got to be careful when they have a strong start. You got to make sure there's no, it's not like fake volume bots and they're just getting ready to rug you, you know what I mean? But that being said, I got this from the Madapes group, so that's also what gave me confidence in buying in like that. And I'm talking like it's such a big buy. Like I bought in $21. Oh my God. No, it's not a lot. I get it. But the reason I'm acting like it's a lot is because I broke my rule of putting down 1% per position. Okay. And that's a habit that you could form and do it over and over again and eventually blow up your account. So that's why I act like it's such a big thing when it's not. Because if I stop acting like it's important, then it'll lose importance and I'll break it over and over again and I'll blow up my account, which I've done probably 10 times in my life. So I'm only speaking from experience. Yeah, probably about 10 times. Like I've gone up to like 100K and then to zero in a couple days, you know, like 100K in like a month, or no, sorry, a year, and then to zero within a couple days. So yeah, I've done that a few times, and it always starts from just like not sticking to rules, or you break a rule and you get success with breaking that rule, and then you want to break it again because you know it worked last time, but it's not sustainable, right? It's not sustainable unless you get super lucky or something and you get like a 10,000x that first day. But I've seen people get 10,000x's, make millions of dollars, and then I've seen them lose it all because they'd never learned like the technicals of things, and like they didn't realize that that was just luck on their side, and they just had so much capital to play with that they stayed in the game for a long time until they weren't in the game anymore and they didn't know how to get back into the game, right? So having my rough start in crypto for so many years, I think, is what is going to allow me to stay in the game long term. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet now and go on to the next chart. Oh wait, maybe I should talk about where I think this is gonna go now. But yeah, you can see I recouped my initial quickly, and then there's still like 13 bucks in there. So that's 600k market cap. So if this goes to like 6 mil, like that'll be 130 bucks. If it goes to 60 mil, that'll be 1300 bucks off like a $20 buy, right? So you just got to be patient with these plays, because a lot of them go there in time. Okay, so I see a rising wedge right here. I always look for the wedges first. So if this rising wedge played out, well, maybe that's support it would have hit. Oh, that's support there. So if this rising wedge played out, it could drop to 100k support. Hard to say. I don't know if it would do that. But yeah, no, it's very possible. I don't know why I say I don't know if it would do that. This reversal here was just pretty strong. To go from 2 mil down to 180,000 and then back up to 1 mil and then all the way back down to 100k. Yeah, it's possible, but I don't know if it'll do that. Now, this is where I like to find the bigger trend line forming here. Oh, look what I just found. Okay, so now I think I know what's going to happen. So I put the trend line from the lower supports from earlier, and I matched it up with nothing up here, but this can show me what could happen here. Since this chart is pretty bullish, if this rising wedge played out as if a rising wedge does when they drop, it could try to retest this high here, and then it could ride the trend line and then drop down but get wicked out here, so it'll get bought back up immediately just to hang on to this trend line here, which happens a lot. So really experienced traders would have limit orders set down here, and if they think this is as bullish as I want to say as I think it is, I just don't know if it is, to be honest, yet. I haven't had enough time with it, but it performed well compared to a lot of the other ones. So if it continues to perform well and other people got faith in that, there's going to be a lot of limit orders set here to shoot this thing back up to hang on to this trend line here. But in like a really bearish scenario, this could also be a bear flag that plays out like so. And it's interesting because the bear flag bottom is not much farther than if the wedge dropped. So that'd be like 80k. Considering the volume and holders, if it's all organic or mostly organic, and this did play out, a bear flag played out like this, I have a feeling it would get violently scooped up. So there's probably a lot of limit orders stacked down here. And if that didn't happen, let's say it did drop down to here and it didn't get violently scooped up and structure didn't hold and it fell down more, it might just bleed for a bit and then take a few days to come back to life. Because like the money moves around and the attention moves, right? But this being a Madapes chart, if it did bleed like that, the attention would come back to it. So that's what I love about these charts so far. If structure breaks, if bullish structure breaks, like there's still like opportunity down the road. It's just like a little, you just got to like expand your time horizon. It's like, okay, damn, this didn't get violently scooped back up. I just bought in 0.05 SOL here, right? That's why you don't bet a lot. You put in 0.05 SOL, but if the structure doesn't hold and it keeps going down, throw in another 0.05 here at like 90K. And then if it doesn't hold, just look for other supports, you know? There's one. There's one. 36K, 17K. And if you want to be super degenerate, just throw a limit order in down here too. 8K. Make it a 0.2 SOL if you want to really be degenerate. But if you did, like, that's like 25 bucks. Let's just say a wick hits 8K. This thing bounces back to 80K. That 25 bucks is now 250 bucks. And then if it bounced right back up to where we at now, that'd be like $2,500 off $25. Just because you had the foresight to set a limit order down here. Thanks to me. I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean. It keeps making me think of like this bot that I want to build. I want to build a new Telegram bot that basically scans Madapes, and like every time it sees a new SOL address, it literally just buys in and then automatically sells or sets buys. So it would buy in as soon as it sees it, then it would set a buy like 50% down and then like 80% down kind of thing. And then it would also have the auto sell schedule set. And like my vision for this is like you press a button basically to run it, and then it just scans all day and does this and enters and exits accordingly, right? Instead of me having to sit here and do it myself. Like a lot of this process that I'm doing is automated, but I have to set up each one, right? Like imagine if there was a bot that set up each one for you. All you got to do is just turn on the bot, like supply the money and turn it on. So that's going to be a project I'm going to work on soon. And I might just like make it like a Madapes bot, you know, like just for the, like recommended just to use for the Madapes gambles calls. Cause I want people to actually make money with it. I don't want people to lose money. Like if I market it as something else and I just said, go use this on any channel, they'll get wrecked. Right. So anyways, don't steal my idea or do it. And if you do steal my idea, tell me and we'll work together on it. Okay, so that's just what I saw just from looking at this shit right now. And like, I'm sure there is a lot of other shit I missed. Like, I'm kind of already seeing something I think I missed. Let's see. I mean, you could even call this a rising wedge here too, right? Even though it broke structure, it came back into structure. And then if this rising wedge played out as a rising wedge, again, it would come down to 33K. So it's a lot of signs pointing into that direction. Oh yeah, and this RSI, let's see what it looks like right now. Yeah, I don't see a bearish divergence, I don't think, so that's good. I see a little bullish divergence here too, so hard to say where this chart's going to go, but that's why you you find these patterns and you find your entries. And if you're in a Madapes group and it's a Madapes chart and you don't understand patterns and shit, just buy in 0.05 SOL now and then set 2 more buys, basically as low as you can go or feel comfortable going. The thing is, like, if they don't trigger, they don't trigger. It's not like you're spending money. You're just putting in effort to set the orders. Okay, I'm gonna move along. I'm probably gonna end this video because all I do is like talk and I don't want to have like 10-hour long videos. So I'll do my next one on another chart.